Yeah. It's a new day now, we've arrived. It's the same grace keeping us alright. It's the love that keeps us holding on. Now we're here, living the new me. Nothing impossible. Time to get it out. Just breathe with Toni and Bree.
Yo, that was deep. Hi guys, sorry, our camera died, so we had to switch over to the phone.
Yes.
So where were we again?
What are you talking about?
We were talking about relationship.
Yes, we were talking about the guy that never changed.
Oh yeah, that never changed. No, guys, we have to evolve. I mean, I know it take. I'm not saying that we should be perfect. No, only God, only Jesus Christ alone is perfect.
No one is.
But we should try. Don't be a trier than a failure,
True.
right? We have to try. We have to try. But actually, a friend of mine was talking, and I should have asked her like some relationship questions, like some relationship questions for us to ask. So you have any questions for me, like in terms of relationship?
In terms of what?
Like my expectation or boundaries or any of those.
I mean, we all have boundaries. Okay, to a point where you're dating, we know the outcome is marriage, right? Okay, so how do you know when to tell when you're at that point? Because sometimes some people don't know.
That is true. Okay, for me, what I would love to do whenever I'm dating someone, of course, I'm not gonna date you unless I don't intend to marry you one day. I think it's important for us to do premarital counseling. I think that's very important because, as I said, sometimes it's okay. I'm not saying that once you do it it's perfect, because some persons still won't talk. The person have to be open. Like, we have to be honest with each other, as you were saying. We have to be honest, trust each other.
Yes.
And
Communication is key.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard from a lot of people who have been married for years.
communication is key.
Yes.
Like, I don't see like a lot of persons say, oh, it's embarrassing to talk about this with my spouse. Like, that person see you naked, you guys do stuff together. Why is it embarrassing for you to say?
I don't think that's the thing. I think that, I don't know if you guys agree with me, you can comment down below and let us know. Some people don't like to feel vulnerable. I think that's the problem.
That's true.
Because a lot of Jamaican men, I should say, they tend to hide their emotions.
All of the Jamaican man, them all comment and say, listen.
They tend to hide their emotions, and women too. Some people maybe just don't want to come off too soft-y, or you say, oh, you're in your feelings too much, or if the person know more about you or how you feel about certain things, they'll use it to their advantage, which some people do sometimes. Those people are manipulators and narcissistic people. You have to watch out for those behaviors. But at the same time, when you're vulnerable between both of you, it's like it opens up like a wider communication between you and your spouse. It helps. It's like at first you're probably at 70, but now you're like closer to like a 90. It's like you and the person,
Guys,
you're like in tune with each other.
I am a very anybody who like have conversation with me, I'm a very deep person.
Yes.
Like, right off the bat, I don't when people say, oh, that's too early to ask in a relationship or whatever, I'm like, no. Once we're talking, we're getting close. Like, of course, at first we're friends. The first thing me I show at you, what's your purpose in life? That's the first question I'm gonna ask you. What's your purpose in life? What are your views on this? Do you believe in this? Especially anything that aligns with the Bible. I'm sorry, if that's not because trust me, I think that's the
or the question, which is good to ask. Sorry for cutting you. where do you see yourself in 5, 10 years?
Right.
It's like to know the plan that
To
you
know
have.
what, yeah.
Like where do you see your life going, your future? How are you setting up yourself to maintain that goal that you set? Because a lot of times we make goals for a lot of things,
Right.
and they may not happen, but at the same time, it's like you're preparing yourself for something better. You have a plan, and it's not good to go through life. Some people think about it, not plan. Don't go through life without planning stuff. But sometimes it's good to have your own agenda,
You have to have a plan.
and be on your own schedule and have some things set
You
to
have
know.
to have a
Even
plan.
Jesus had a plan. He came, he did what he was supposed to
Amen.
do, and he went away,
And
and everything was on time.
Perfect.
So guys, it's not always bad to have your things in line,
in line.
even
Yeah.
if sometimes things may happen along the road.
Of course, we're gonna have bumps in the road, but it's gonna make us stronger. Just keep going. It's not gonna be smooth all the way through, but
No, it's just life.
it's gonna be like that. But you know, one thing that and I think when you're young too and growing up, I've always realized that I was like a little bit different than everybody else, like within my clique. But
You think you're probably more mature than your
I think so, because guys,
peers?
honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm older than my age. Like my mind, I feel like I'm
You're more
older.
mature.
Yeah,
Like an old soul, they
And-
would say.
yeah. I've never really spoke about this before, but I think at one point I was like, is something wrong with me?
Why would you think that?
Because like I'm saying, like no, I live with my aunt who's like my second mom and her husband, and I don't do things that a regular 23-year-old would do. I don't really go out unless it's with you or with Shanice or with
Yeah.
Joy and Renance and the rest of my friends.
Listen, guys.
I don't date guys.
If somebody
I
is
don't-
out there feeling like this, it's okay not to feel regular. It's okay to feel you. Feel yourself.
Yeah.
Be you. You don't have to be the norm.
That's true.
This is
That's
Tonian.
true.
Be Tonian.
That's
You're
true.
that person out there. Be you.
That's true.
You don't
But
have to always
have
go
you
with the
ever-
crowd.
Have you ever spoken to a guy or dated a guy who was like your level of like maturity
And he's not there?
don't meet
I'm not
yours?
there. I'm out. No.
And like he's like, even if you guys are like just friends, because I have a lot of friends, like people who I talk to, reason with, but it's not like, oh, I like this person, I'm gonna try to get into a relationship
No,
with
it's
the
like
person.
you can
it was
platonic relationship.
they're like friends.
Friendship, yeah.
And honestly, when that person, because we were talking like just like friends,
Yeah.
and honestly, when that person was like, you know, I really like you, and I'm like, because my mind wasn't there, because not that I'm not confident in myself, guys. Yes, I have things that are physically that I want to work on.
We all
But,
do. We all do.
I'm looking
life.
and I'm saying like, those girls over there, I thought you would go for those girls because, you know, bodies, they're gorgeous, body ready. And seeing me, I tell you, like
Ready,
skin
like
up
ready.
there, da da da. And he's like, listen, I can have that girl, I can sleep with that girl, but is that girl gonna help me to pray? Is that girl gonna tell me about God? I'm like, listen, I need to start thinking on that level. Like, guys, don't come off your level to meet someone down here. It's not gonna try to catch up. If the person is here, catch up with the person.
Never compromise.
But don't compromise on principles. That's what
Never.
I've learned. Do not compromise on principles.
If that person don't accept you
For
who
you,
you
yeah.
are, then that person is not meant to be in your life.
No.
Listen, people come and people go.
People go.
That's what I've learned so far. Whether it be a family, could be a family members, could
Family
be your friends that you
members,
meet today,
friends,
could be somebody that you
boyfriend,
know over 10
girlfriend.
years, and then all of a sudden you're in the person's not thick anymore. You're like, what happened? That person was probably only meant to be in your life for that 10
For that-
years.
Yeah.
It's
For
just
that
life.
reason. Yeah. Even, and I'm not, you see, I'm not like that. Like, when I see like girls, I understand, but I think it's a thing now, especially on social media. Like they break up with a guy, they're like, oh, all this shit. I'm like, where do you guys find time? I have to work, I
Because
have to sleep.
we have to understand that some people are not at that same level
Of
of maturity
maturity.
that you may be.
Yeah. Because I'm like, where do you
And
find?
sometimes some people take out their frustrations differently than you would. Some
Yeah.
people eat.
Like after moving from
Some
Jamaica
people
to
bash you
here,
online.
after moving from Jamaica to here, my ex and I, we were like, I was the one who got in contact with him. And we started like talking as friends and everything, because he was my friend before we were dating. He was my friend. And even when I went back home, he because he was in Kingston, so he came down. He actually, I think he said he actually took the day off or something, or the week, or he had the weekend off. And he came and we talk and everything. We were still, but like, of course, no. Probably like maybe sometime last year, he's like, listen, let's cut off all communication. That was, I actually
That's
felt
harsh. Kind of cold.
that's cold, because he was like, if I can't be in a relationship with you, I don't think it's good for us to talk.
Probably
But my mind,
it's probably not good for him too, because
but my mind wasn't. I was like,
still.
okay, whatever happened, we were like 17. That's fine. We're friends now. But I don't think he saw it that way.
No.
And I understand too. No, I know.
Probably he has some belief, because
Yeah.
at the same time, guys, you can't disregard another person's feelings.
Feelings, yeah.
You may be at this place and he may be here, and probably in the back of his mind he's thinking, okay, we're talking like this, we're probably back to how we were before, and there's a chance for me to get with her. And then after a while he probably realized that she's not into this, and he's like, why am I hurting myself emotionally over and over again? It makes no point for me to be at this place in my life. So it's probably better for him.
If I'm being honest, I think I kind of added to it, like unknowingly.
Yes,
Because
probably.
like when we were together, like we usually send each other last text before we go to sleep, or in the morning say good morning, give him a scripture. So so in his mind, it's probably like
hopeful,
she still
Yeah.
I love him as a friend, but not like before. And it's not, the thing is, it's not because of what happened between us, because I look at it both ways. I was we were like 17 years old, and he was young, so he wanted to explore, but I didn't want to do that as
I understand. You weren't on the same
on the same, so I look at it now, like, but at first I was like, listen, go on,
that's where the relationship fell apart.
Yeah, but I look at it now as, I can't, like, he was young, like, I'm not gonna judge him and say, oh, whatever, because he was young and he wanted to explore. That's okay. And we weren't thinking on the same. We had like different beliefs here and there. That is why now I'm saying it's important for me to date someone with the same spiritual and religious belief as me. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So guys, you hear I'm talking like I've been through, like, no. It's other people's, like, close people to me, like, their experiences.
But that's how we learn.
That's how I learn, yeah. That's how we learn. So, you don't necessarily, like, for now, I'm sorry. This might sound judgy as well. But, like, I remember someone was saying to me, like, no, girl, like, you have to go through, like, you have to date, you have to get involved, because like when you get married, it's only gonna be like that one person. I'm like, you cannot think on that level, because if a person is for you, that person is for you.
True.
If that person is for you, they're for you. Remember, once God put you together, like, no man can put you apart. So if that person is for you, that person is for you. So, like, I think especially in our generation, a lot of girls or guys are dating because they're like, oh, I have to have all the fun before I get married, or before I go into a long-term relationship, which I don't like that. It doesn't have to be that way. It's not the quantity, guys. It's the quality.
I've speaking about that, I actually had like a deep conversation earlier on in this month with someone. A guy. He's like a few years younger than me, and he was telling me that at this point in my life, since I've been having a relationship and dating people, I realized that I want something more. And he's like, every person that I've talked to so far, once I start talking to them and think we're getting somewhere, I realize that they're not on the same phase in life that I am.
Yep.
And I want to connect with somebody emotionally, somebody who I can converse with about things about life, because it's not always about materialistic things or dance or parties or going here or going there. Some people actually want someone to connect with.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I'm saying
So
it's
not
rare.
every
especially
guy
now,
wants
it's
to
rare.
run around and have fun.
They're
before.
out there. I think we just have to find. You just have to find them. They're there, because not every guy is like that. I think that is the reason why, for me, like after like 18, 19, I'm like, if I'm dating someone, the person has to be older and have more experience and like
It's not
more
always.
mature.
It's not always
But
like that.
it's not always like that. Trust me, because
No.
I've met grown people who are like, oh, like
True.
I'm like, listen, how old are you? You're like, oh, I'm 35. I'm like, I'm 23 years old. They're like, oh, because we never met. But like over the phone, we talk.
Not
And they're
always
like, oh my
older.
God, like you see,
Being
I'm like,
older
no.
does not equate to you
It's your
being wiser.
mind.
It doesn't.
It's your mind, like how you think.
Because there's a lot of people, older people, in the late 30s or 40s that still behave like they're teenagers.
Like they're like they're 19. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to live it up. I'm like, no, you're grown. You're getting old. You know, my oldest sister, she always say, you know, when you reach 30, is like that age is like the peak where, like, you know, things that I used to worry about, I don't worry about those things anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you realize that there's other things that's more
Yeah,
important.
that's more important. But for me, trust me, sometimes I literally have to pray and say, God, just like, because I think like different. As I said, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm 40 in my mind, but I'm 23, you know? Because I'm so, even my mom was like, you know, you have to loosen up a little bit sometimes. I'm like, yeah. But then again, that's the person that I am.
Yes.
So
don't
like,
change yourself for
I'm
nobody
not
ever.
gonna change.
Ever.
You can't. You're gonna be uncomfortable, and it won't last.
As I told you before, if you're not being your authentic self, then who are you being?
Then who are you being?
Who are you living for? Be yourself.
Have to be yourself.
Guys, thank you for tuning into our little heart-to-heart session today.
This was a good story time, right?
It was.
I like this.
And our discussion, I really enjoyed it. And with us talking about different things in life that we struggle with, or you're probably struggling with, or people that we've known who struggled with.
So yeah. Oh, and this actually we were saying we're gonna talk about our first kiss, but we actually talk about relationship.
Yes.
So
but the first kiss, okay, it's not done. Where? Location, where?
Girl! They wouldn't know the location, but you would know.
You can't just give parish. You don't have to give exact location or city or town.
It was right in our community. School wall, girl.
Yeah. Okay. Mine. When I was younger, my mom used to date this guy. She was living in Westmoreland, and every summer, every holiday or Christmas holiday, summer holiday, Easter holiday, she would take me and my brother Kishan there. And when I was 10, we went to Westmoreland again, and we always went to this his friends or older people to their house, and we'll spend time there. And I think it was like a night or something like that. And being kids, us kids, we were like jumping from bed to bed in the rooms, having fun, jump from this bed, jump from that bed. And then there was this guy there, and I was jumping on the bed, guys, and this guy jumped on the bed and jumped and kissed me. And I fell on the bed.
Like a peck on the leg.
Yes, it was jump. We're jumping. I'm on one bed. He's on the other one, and he jumped on the other one and do like this. And I fell on the bed. I was so shocked. And then everybody's like, "Woo!" He kissed Sabrina.
But when did you have your first real kiss?
That's a kiss at 10.
No, your first real kiss.
First real kiss.
Yeah,
kiss.
kiss.
Like
not just a peck on the
flirty.
lips, like tongue and everything.
Ugh.
Like your first real kiss. When did you have your first
We're
real
not
kiss?
gonna go into.
You don't have to go
all
into
that.
details, but like
Not all
when-
that, but 14.
When you're 14, okay. When I was 17. No, guys, we're not gonna go into details. That's personal now. But yeah, I felt guilty after.
Yes.
Like me, I said, Jesus Christ, mommy, I'm gonna kill me. Me say, mommy, I'm gonna kill me, mommy. But you know, my mom, she always like. My mom is strict. She makes sure she grows up like the best way she can. But she always like the trust was always there, because she always said to me, if you do something that you know you're not supposed to do, remember me, I gonna have you over your head for the rest of your life, and I gonna get to go nowhere, and I get to do what you know what I'm saying. And because I was like, I'm reserved, so we never have that problem. But when I was dating that guy, my mom knew. Like I was 17, almost 18, and she knew, and she was, you know, she always say, you know. The only thing, especially when you're at the age of 18, that I can tell you is to be careful. That's all I can tell you. Because if a child want bad or do whatever, trust me, the parents cannot really stop them. It is your responsibility to like listen to your parents if you want to or whatever.
Yeah.
So like my mom and I, we always spoke about those stuff, and my older sister, not the kiss though, you know, me never gonna tell mommy about no.
But you know, a good thing about it is some parents in Jamaica is, some of them very strict. You can't be open to them. You can't tell them nothing. Some of them very open. You can talk to them about anything. And thank God that on both sides of my family, my paternal and maternal parents, aunt, uncle, their sister, their brother, my family was very open. My grandma, I could talk to her about anything. My aunt, the same way, I could talk to her about anything. Even now, if I'm dating somebody, I can just call my aunt and talk to her. She's the one that I called in the States early on in the other video. And me and my dad, we have this this impeccable relationship that I could talk to my dad about anything that I want to. My mom too, but I probably don't go in details with my mom, but I still can tell her anything that I want to. And my aunts, Miss Hermine, Auntie Arlene, Venetia.
I can't tell Auntie
I can talk to them
Arlene
about
things,
anything. Even my cousin, even her mom. We
can't tell
talk
Auntie
about
Arlene
anything.
things.
My family, they don't scare you
My
from
sister,
expressing how you feel. They're
sister,
open
I
and ready
can-
and
that
listen
girl-
and ready to listen to you.
My sister, I talk to my sister about everything. My sister knew everything about
So growing
that
up,
relationship.
if we had any other problem, we didn't have that one, because
But
as we said,
did your
our
dad
family
like
pretty
you could
open.
have relationship with your dad like about a guy you like or whatever? Or no?
That's a good story. When I was probably 11, guys, there was this guy. My grandma used to bring us to this other community where my other aunt lives, and she would bring us there, and there's this guy that I think had a crush on me, and then I liked him too. I'm not gonna lie. And then one day I asked my dad, because me and my dad, he on Sunday evenings we used to go on our little date, and he'll bring us walking around the community, and then he'll buy me ice cream. That was our thing.
My dad
And
too.
then he'll buy me ice
Every
cream.
Jamaican
Then
kid
he'll buy me
supposed to
my
have that
favorite ice
experience.
cream. I like ice cream cake. You know, the one from Devon House. And then we'll buy me my ice cream, and then we'll walk, and then we'll have our talk, and he'll ask me, how was your week? What did you do? Blah, blah, blah. And stuff, and checking on me. And then one day, we walked to like a school for the bus stop. And then we were there waiting for the bus. And then I asked him, like, do you know this guy? And he's like, what about him? And I'm like, no, I'm just asking you if you know him or where he's from. He's like, yeah, I know him. He's your cousin.
Oh gosh.
He's like, he's your
What a
cousin.
flop.
And don't ask me about him again.
What a flop, guys. What a flop. Well,
To this
my
day,
dad and I-
even if we weren't cousins, guys, we're cousins
we were
now.
cousins. We didn't really have like my dad. Like when it comes to like lecture, you can check my father. Like when we do something wrong, mommy will beat us, but daddy would be like, listen, you're not supposed to that. He will talk to you.
Did your dad ever had the talk with you?
He did, but it wasn't like in detail as mommy, but he did.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was dating that guy, when I was like when my 17th birthday, And I remember I was at my dad, and then my friends, Lanoy. I think, I don't remember if Anna was there, but it was me, Lanoy, Ven, and Tallene was there. And we had a sleepover at my dad. And then we went out in the night. We just went to Mandeville and take pictures, walk up and down, eat food.
Yeah.
And I
That's
remember
mostly
when
what
daddy
we-
was taking us to Mandeville.
Sorry to cut you out, guys. When you're in high school and you got to Mandeville, that's
all they do.
That's all you
Walk
know.
up and
Walk
down,
up and down,
take
take
pictures.
pictures.
Window shop, going to store, look for clothes, don't buy it. Like, that's
You know
what
the
we
amount
do.
of pictures that I have that I took
Right
with
from, I
high
have them on
school.
Facebook. So and he was like, you know, when you guys reach a certain age and you start dating, you know, my man, Mr. Wait, our daddy here or something.
How old were you?
I was 17. It was my 17th birthday.
My dad had the talk with me when I was.
He never go in detail.
When
Only thing him a go
when
around
I
corner.
was
He never went
16,
into
my dad had the
detail.
talk with me. I thought it was probably a little bit too late, but I guess late not never. 16 is at an age where you're becoming a woman.
Yeah, a lot of girls.
So yeah,
like, yeah,
he had the talk with me when I was 16, which is good.
My mom had that talk with me when I was like 12.
Yeah.
And it was really in detail. I'm like, mommy, I want to hear that. Like, she was like, when I was 17, your daddy was me first. I'm like, mommy, Jesus Christ. We don't want to hear about just...
My mom
But
would
mommy-
never.
No, my mom went into... And
My grandmother, she'll tell me the little details.
but you know the flip side of it? Grandma and them, like, they didn't have those conversations like that with mommy them.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I think they got pregnant like 16, 17, 18.
Because the older people were more
conservative. Because grandma used to tell us that we couldn't even say kiss around my father. He wouldn't give you one lick. I'm like, what? They never have the conversation. The only thing they used to say, that's grown folks' business. You don't do it. Our mommy say growing up, mama always say, you know, when they start to mature, have boobs and stuff, don't make no guy touch you there, you will get pregnant. Like, they never went, they tell them those little things. So when they actually, like, you know, start have feelings and be around these guys, them do it just because they don't know what it is really.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to have that talk.
Yes.
But my mom did. Daddy
Yeah,
never went
so,
into details.
Guys, it's great and it's beneficial, as you've heard. We've both share experiences about what we grew up with as children, and you'll see teenagers coming up, childhood coming up, and you'll see that it is beneficial to have a open space in your home for your kids to come to you freely and talk to you about anything, because you never know what they're probably struggling with or what they need advice with. A little hello, this is how you do it, this is how I did it when I was this age,
And if it worked or it didn't work
this way, if I did this is what would have happened, this is what the outcome would be. So it's good to have an open space where your children feel safe to talk to you about anything, because you never know what might happen or what someone else may be going through.
Okay, but my last point, you know what I just remember that my mom said to me when I started my period when I was like 12.
Yeah, I was 11 on my 11th
And
birthday, actually.
I was 11, almost 12, and I remember my mom said to me, you know, if you have sex with a boy, you will get pregnant. And I remember I said to her, because I think that is what established the strong trust that my mom had, like, for like me and my sister, because she knew that I understand.
Yeah.
And when she said to me, oh, you know, if you have sex with a guy, you'll get pregnant. I'm like, mommy, if I use a condom, I won't get pregnant. Or if I'm on the pill, I won't get pregnant, but I'm not ready for sex. That's exactly what I said to her. And then after me say it, I'm like, Jesus, please, what if she'll go lick me or something?
No, she wouldn't.
And then
because
she
knows
then
that
she'll
you understand.
Yeah, she'll look at me and she's like, okay.
That's
and
like
from
the
that day,
validation.
like, even, because my mom knows everything. Like,
That's
growing
the
up, we
that's the
open up
validation
more
right
and
there.
stuff. But, like, after, she never had a doubt. She never, because I remember even, like, a friend of her was saying, no, them a little girl pick me and them. My mother said, listen, you see, once you talk to your child and you trust your child,
Yes, as I said,
I'm not
open.
saying you're not supposed to question them, but
Open
if
space.
you
Free.
don't trust them, they're gonna do things that they're not supposed to do.
Welcoming.
Yeah, you have to be welcoming.
Yes.
Have to be.
Yes.
So guys, this was a nice talk. I really enjoyed this video because we get to open up a little bit more to you
Yes,
guys.
we did.
Yeah, so you guys make sure you watch, like, subscribe, share.
Yes, and if you would like to share your experiences in the comments below, you can do so,
You can
and
do
we will
so.
answer you guys.
And for our next video, you know, you guys can probably send us like a topic
Ideas
or
that you'd like us to
for-
talk about or
yeah,
discuss
you want
about
us to talk
or
about.
share experience on.
Yep. So you can just leave it in the comment.
In the
You can
comments
comment
below.
down below. Like
And don't
a
forget
topic.
to like, comment, and
Subscribe.
share.
Subscribe. Okay.
Ask your friends and family members to subscribe and share, and you subscribe to as well. And remember, liking is for free. You can like the video.
Okay. Bye guys. Take care.
Bye. See you in the next one.